Greetings. We come from Feathers of Hope, a student-run magazine and an organization we cherish. Now, you might be wondering as an audience, what takes you to this very YouTube video, right? Our new theme, the Voiceless, speaks about these social evils and these stories that aren't spoken about in society. And we, as students of the next generation and the current generation, think it's necessary that we speak them out now. Because if not now, never. The basic idea that revolves around this very video talks about a survey that we took on the young generation and the current generation teenagers in our city. So essentially what we're doing here is we have letters addressed to the same, letters addressed to the future generation, which give them a sense of encouragement so that we can speak about these issues, because it is time we voice out the voiceless. Thank you.
Dear me, I know you remember the days when waking up felt like a battle, when depression took over and it seemed like there was no point to anything. It felt like we were drowning and every day was a struggle to keep our head above water. But I want you to know that I see how far you come. I hope by now you learn to hold on to the good moments, even when they feel fleeting. I hope you found the strength to keep pushing forward, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. You're doing better, and that's something to be proud of. With strength, the one who refused to give up.
To whoever it may concern, feelings for someone don't take away your right to say no. Liking or trusting someone doesn't mean we owe them anything, and it certainly doesn't mean they have the right to cross our boundaries. Respect and consent are essential in any relationship, and those feelings must go both ways. To you, the future generations, I hope you'll always remember this. Your boundaries deserve to be respected, no matter what. If someone doesn't honor your comfort or consent, that is not your fault. Trust yourself, listen to your instincts, and know what you have the right to protect yourself, even from those you care about, with strength and solidarity.
Dear braver me, I know you remember the times our parents expected us to be perfect, always without fail. I knew it was so much pressure, and sometimes we always wanted to scream because no one saw the weight we carried. But by now, I hope you have let go of that need for perfection. I hope you have embraced your flaws, mistakes, and everything that makes you real. Remember, it's enough to be exactly who you are, and that's more than enough. With hope, the one who wanted to be seen.
Dear future generations, growing up, I thought love meant control and fear. In my household, love was tightly bound with rules, restrictions, and a constant sense of worry. I didn't know anything different, so I assumed this was normal. It took me years to understand that love doesn't need to be defined by control or fear. Real love supports and uplifts. It doesn't hold you down. To those of you who may grow up in similar circumstances or find yourself questioning the meaning of love, I want you to know that love, real love, shouldn't make you feel small or afraid. It's okay to question, to grow beyond what you have known, and to seek relationships that honor your worth. Take it one step at a time and trust that with patience. You can shape a new kind of love in your life, one that's built on kindness, respect, and freedom. You deserve that.
Dear me, Confidence hasn't come easily for me. I second-guess myself, worrying about how I come across, wishing I could feel as at ease in my own skin as others seem to be in theirs. But through the struggle, I've learned something important. Confidence isn't always as effortless as it appears. Many people admire for their self-assurance, have had to work hard to reach that place, and they too may have their own quiet insecurities. To those of you who reading this in the future, if you feel unsure of yourself, know that you're not alone. Building confidence takes time, patience, and self-compassion. It's okay to be a work in progress, and it's okay to feel uncertain. Take it one step at a time and celebrate your own unique journey. You don't have to be like anyone else to be worthy or valuable. With empathy and encouragement.
Dear me, I know you remember how exhausting it was, feeling like our parents never really saw who we were, only who they wanted us to be. All those times we felt like we were performing just to meet their expectations, trying so hard but feeling unseen. But I hope that by now you've come to the realization that you're enough, just as you are. I hope you've let go of needing anyone else's approval and found strength in being yourself. Keep showing up as who you truly are. That's who matters the most. With love, the one you always believed in us.
Dear me, there was a time back when I was a teenager when I felt utterly trapped. Life's pain felt overwhelming, and I thought self harm was the only way to cope. I couldn't see any other options in front of me and believed there was no way out of my feelings. It was dark and confusing. But as time passed, I began to see that there were other ways to handle my struggles. I found a new way to cope and learn to face my pain rather than hide it. To you reading this in the future, I want you to know that if you ever feel this kind of pain or felt lost, you're not alone. And there are many ways to heal. Reaching out, trying different things, and trusting that time can bring change. May all feel like it's difficult at first, but you'll be surprised by what you're capable of. There's a path forward, and you'll discover your strength along the way. I believe in you.
Dear me, I've learned that no one deserves to be hurt, especially by those meant to protect and care for them. Recognizing that has been a crucial step in my journey towards healing and self-worth. To you, future generations, I want you to know this. If anything feels wrong or makes you feel scared or hurt, it's okay to speak up. Seek out people who make you feel safe. Don't be afraid to share your truth. You have the right to feel protected, supported, and heard, always. Remember, there are people who will listen, understand, and will help.
Dear future generations, I want to tell you about my mom, a woman who has shown me what true strength and resilience looks like. She endured the unimaginable, facing rape and sexual assault multiple times throughout her life, and yet she holds no shame or embarrassment. She's been through so much, more than anyone should ever have to bear, and still she greets each day with a smile. To all of you reading this, I hope you remember whatever struggles you may face, you're not alone, and there's no shame in your story. Your past doesn't diminish your worth, and it doesn't take away your power to build a meaningful future. Like my mom, you can find strength and joy on the other side of hardship. I believe in you and in the strength that lives within each of us. Keep going, even when things are hard. You're stronger than you know, with admiration and hope.
Dear me, I know you remember what it was like watching your parents' marriage fall apart, feeling emotionally neglected and carrying that burden by ourselves for so long. Our relationship with our siblings became strained, and it hurt more than anyone could see. It led us down dark paths, self harm, substance abuse, and moments when we thought we couldn't make it through. But I hope by now you realize that none of that defines you. I hope you've come to understand that your pain is valid, but it does not have to be your future. I hope you've found healing and strength to reach out, knowing that you don't have to carry it all alone. You're worthy of peace and love. With hope, the one who chose to keep going.
Dear future generations, a few months ago, I reached a point where I felt I couldn't go on. I tried to take my own life, overwhelmed by depression and feeling lost as a student, unsure of where to turn. It was a time of deep despair. To those of you reading this in the future, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, please remember that you don't have to face it alone. Talk to someone, whether it's a friend, family member, or counselor. There are people who truly care and want to help you. Even when it's hard to see it, the feelings you have now don't define your future, and there's always hope, even in the darkest moments. Take things one day at a time. You're stronger than you may feel right now, and there is so much ahead that's worth experiencing. I'm here to remind you that better days can come and go.
Dear friend, learning to trust again is a journey. It takes time and patience, and I'm still on that path. I've come to realize that feeling safe doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Healing is gradual, and each small step forward is worth celebrating. To anyone reading this in the future, please know that you're not alone if you struggle with trust. Life may bring challenges that make it hard to feel safe, but over time, with the right people and support, trust can slowly start to grow again. There are people out there who will honor your boundaries, who are patient and kind, and who understand that healing from the past takes time.
To be honest, while reading all of these letters, I felt chills all over my body, and I cannot imagine how much the people who had gone through all of this had to suffer. I think we as a society have failed. So our upcoming generations, or us, we need to bring up a change to this society, and people who are going through all of this, come up, stand up for yourself, and speak up for yourself. Because if not you, no one will stand by yourself. You need to be yourself. Thank you.
That's a very interesting question. So, in this current society that we live in, and we as one of the new generations too, I think these social evils that surround us are definitely one of the most impacting parts of our lives. We don't know what might happen next, when it might happen, and how it might happen. There's various issues on this too. For example, rape, sexual assault in workplaces, and all of the very inevitable activities that happen throughout our day-to-day lives that we get to see on the news. Now, we as the next generation have to make sure that we come up with a way to tackle with the same, so that we can make sure that the next generation doesn't have to go through what we as a society are going through.
The worst of all social evil is that there is absolutely no social responsibility for this present generation. What they deem to be socially responsible is that to be quiet about everything, every evil that is happening around. The most important thing about a society is to be responsive to every evil that happens around us. So I would say being responsible means responding to the evils that happen around us. And the only way to curb these social evils that are happening around us is to speak about it and voice out the evils and solutions to such happenings. Thank you.